G'day everybody, and welcome back for another Assertive modding stream. As I get shot my way through... oh, and I'm inside. Inside a ladybug. I've been working on a little bit of stuff with this since the last time I streamed about it, and I've added a small amount of... oh, there we go. A small amount of complexity to the behaviours of the drones and the cargo ships. Fortunately, Lucas keeps updating the Rival AI mod, so more and more keeps coming. One of the things I have is a behavior where if I start grinding...
inventory full, no energy.
Now the ship starts spinning a little bit. It's actually changed behavior. So instead of the ship just being a basic a cargo ship now, it's actually trying to be like a drone, and it sort of throws you off. Lucas has since I did that little change, added a barrel roll behavior, which I want to play around with at some point to at least add to some of the drones, because I think that'll be a fun way of throwing people off when they try and land on it, rather than just straight up killing them by electrocuting them, which was an option that was already available. So let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of the drone. Drones. Remove. Right, so I don't really have any particular plan for today's stream. I just kind of wanted to get some more work done on the mod. And unfortunately, I have a warning with the Assertive Cargo Ships Rival AI test mod. Whoa, 10 months! Jackson, thank you! And hey everyone. I was wondering why your comment said cheer 10, cheer 10, cheer 10, Jackson. I thought you were just messing around. Not that the bits didn't work. So, let's bring this up to stream size font. Thanks, Jackson. That looks a little different. So, I don't know where the problem is in the spawn groups. It's in... wait. No, it's not that one. It's spawn groups... cargo ships Atmo. There's some warning about this, and I don't know where it is. I also don't know how to find out where it is. I've gone through the spawn groups and they all look to be okay. Unless this max gravity thing has to be can't be a, like if it has to be like a 1 or a 2 or a whatever sort of thing. But what I've got here... oh yeah, I'll go through all the changes that I've made since I last streamed it. Thanks, Dr. Kartoffelsalat. So, one of the things Lucas helped me with was determining whether the ships are actually capable of flying on Omicron. He wrote me a script which works for the Assertive Cargo ships that can determine the amount of thrust in Atmo and tell me how much... and then allows me to work out exactly what gravity they can put up with. So this showed me that a few ships that I had expected to be able to cope with Omicron actually couldn't. And that was incredibly useful for obvious reasons. And also showed that some of the ships can actually cope with quite a lot. But it makes it much, much, much more reliable for me to know that a ship can cope with a specific planetary gravity. And also allows it to work potentially across modded planets, rather than before what I'd done was I just blacklisted Omicron from certain ships. Like, the Humboldt can cope in 1.2, the Ladybugs can also cope in 2, and here we go. The Iapetus can only cope up to 1.2, so it just barely functions on the alien planet. Dragnon, I'm not sure about no random wreckage on Survival Impossible. but probably significantly less random wreckage on Omicron. Hey, Lucas. Lucas. I have this problem. I have a warning. I don't know what the warning's about. And I was curious. Am I allowed to do this for max gravity? Have a 1.2? Or do I have to have whole numbers? I'm assuming I could do a 0.2. Okay, sweet. Alright, let's copy the log. And so it seems like the error is in my spawn group's cargo ship's Atmo. Because I've started, so that's another change that I did since last time. I have actually broken up the spawn groups into all of the different types of spawn groups because my spawn groups file was getting so big with all of the drones, all of the cargo ships, and because I'm going to be combining the mods into a single mod, I'd then also have the bases in there, and it just becomes a bit unwieldy trying to manage it all. I thought it might be a bit easier if I separate the files. Alright. Let me DM Lucas my log and see if he can figure out what went wrong. It'll be this one. Okay. And thank you, Lucas. I am so grateful for your help with this and all of the mods. It is awesome. So, what else have I done? So I've added the max gravity tag to everything. What I've done with the behaviors though is a little bit more interesting, I think. I don't think I showed off how I did the reply for the chat. So if we go into the game and I spawn in a ship somewhere, maybe. Where's the ladybug? Should be able to see it on the horizon. Where are you at, ladybug?
Fuel critical.
This way. Right, I needed to start far enough away so that I could show it. Ah, thank you, Doctor, for giving that to Lucas. So here we go. As I approach the ladybug, I will get this. Tower, I'm not alone out here. Tower will then reply, probably just scavengers, keep an eye on them. So I've actually got more like radio chatter going on, and this is going to be the start of... Ooh. And I've also got a base spawning. Whoops. Wasn't meaning to have that happen. So the way I've set this up, and Lucas and anyone else with knowledge of programming will probably tell me I've done this in a totally wrong way, but it works for the moment, is when the trigger warning? Yeah. So the trigger warning, which is the one that activates at 4 kilometers distance, it activates. It has a chat broadcast, which is this chat warning, and it's one of these different chats. Then it sets a boolean to true, which is the chat warning reply. So if that boolean is set to true, a further trigger, which is the reply, can actually activate. Otherwise, that reply won't activate. I did that to make sure that the thing, that otherwise it works, because I couldn't figure out another way to just have it set on a delay. And then I've got it set on a 3 to 4 second delay because that should be enough time for people to read the initial message and then have the other one turn up, and it seems to work quite well. So this hopefully will be a system that doesn't break. Oh, awesome. Lucas appears to have found the issue with my spawn groups file. I've left the drones in it. Oh, hang on, no. No, they're all the easy ones. Oh, that used to be the best way to do it, but now you can use actions to turn the use trigger tag on and off. So no condition profiles are needed for the second trigger. Aha! So I can do sequential triggers now. That's quite cool. That opens up a lot of stuff that I wanted to be able to do. And that getting my head around for the... Hang on, that needs to change that. And then getting my head around for the condition profiles and stuff always took me a lot longer. And the reset timer bit you're already using is good practice if still doing. Okay, cool. Let's just check if there are any more drones in here. Don't think so. So what I've done is I've added a medium difficulty drone, which is a medium difficulty cargo ship, which is just a mayfly drone. So you could get attacked by a mayfly drone out of nowhere. It doesn't come from a base. It just spawns and it'll hunt you down. The reason I added that in, and I've added it in with a threat level check, is that one of the nice things with the old system with assertive cargo ships was that you would occasionally get attacked. And that would be because the cargo ship flew close enough to your base. Instead of having that system where you don't get much control over whether things attack you, this way it's only going to start doing things like that once you reach a reasonable threat score. Because most of the behaviors I've got for the cargo ships, I've actually been... this one. I've actually been reducing the range of their behaviors. So I think... Where's the second proximity one? Yeah, it's down to 1,500 meters. Instead of, I think I had it at 1.8 kilometers before. So that's... should, in most situations, allow the drones to pass over the top of any base that comes near them.
Fuel critical.
Now you would have noticed that research base said initial trigger. Initial trigger, war triggered, peace triggered, war triggered, peace triggered, war triggered. How often is it doing that? It's roughly 30 seconds-ish. And that's about right at the moment because I set them to change quickly. The thing that hasn't happened, however, is it hasn't spawned any drones, and it should have. So the war mode and peace mode triggering is working, and nothing else. So that's something I need to fix. But I'm not sure I'm... So where is that? That is base Atmo. Alright, let's do a quick reload of the game so that I can load it up without error, hopefully. And fingers crossed... No, Steam, don't do that. You jerk. What? No! No, Steam! did this yesterday. It's not supposed to do it today as well. It's Thursday. Ugh. Well, I guess we stare at Notepad until Steam comes back up, because I can't even load Space Address. Ugh. And apparently an F in chat for Space Engineers, not just Steam. Thanks, Tuxmelv. Stop. Come on. End the thing. Yeah, Jace, I am adding threat scores to the assertive cargo ships. So, well, to all of the rival AI stuff, it will have threat levels, but I'm also making the early game grids that you'll face passive, because I want them to be something that you choose to engage in the early game if you want, but you don't have to engage. One of the biggest concerns people raised when I said I was going to combine assertive cargo ships and assertive installations into a single mod was that by doing that, what I would end up having is I'd be stopping people from choosing whether they wanted to have a mod that actively engages them or a mod that they actively engage. Because with cargo ships, it was primarily a mod that you had to actively engage. Otherwise, it was just out there doing its own thing and you could ignore it. But with assertive installations, you didn't have a choice. It forced you to engage. So I want to bring assertive installations and cargo ships kind of to a middle ground for the two of them. I don't want a fully passive cargo ships mod, and I don't want a fully aggressive bases mod. So I'm going to try and do both in the one mod and have it somewhere in between so that if you start engaging, you'll start getting smacked down by the assertive things. The way I plan to do that is actually by taking advantage of Lucas's... in Rival AI, you can have stuff, and I think in MAS even, you can have stuff spawn based... Well, I can mess with faction standing, and faction standing is what I want to mess with. If you have a particularly bad faction standing, then everything's just going to hate you and do its utmost to kill you. So, but prior to that, they'll just be out there and you can shoot them, and if you do, then things will slowly get worse for you. But that's fine, because that I think gives people control over their game, which is something you probably want. At least a bit. At least until you're built up enough to get the drones that will just hunt you down. Steam back? No. Okay, so for that Atmo easy behavior, why is nothing spawning when the condition war gets triggered? So I have it so that there's this... I have a special... I don't think I've got it open because it's a functional thing that switches the mode of the base from war to peace. Initially, what that war to peace trigger switching was doing was changing the antenna range. But because I wanted all this radio chatter to happen, I needed to set the antenna range to full, or at least long, so that the radio chatter could happen, even when the base isn't in war mode. Because war mode used to be antenna range 15Ks, peace mode was about 2Ks. And that was great when using the antenna spawner, but since I don't need to use an antenna spawner, I thought I would ditch the antenna spawner altogether and expand the antenna range, and then try and use a proximity spawner, which Rival AI has, as the change up. So the idea was, during condition peace, the proximity trigger would be set to 3Ks. During war, the condition would be set to 15, but it appears I only got through a very short bit of writing this behavior. I haven't actually written the whole thing. There's trigger procs 1, and action procs 1, and chat procs 1, and the proc spawner. I did not write any of the other triggers. That would explain why nothing happened. Great. Well then, I should probably write that. And if Steam doesn't come back up, that's possibly all I can do. Because I can't... Like, I could try and load into a vanilla world and design something. Because I think trying to write this could take some time. What I might need to open is my War and Peace behavior. Let's move this along. 2. There. Where's my base? Hey, Mr. Zeros. Thanks, man. Yes. If you're struggling with space engineers, I probably have some tutorials that can help. It's kind of... I enjoy teaching, so I may have made a few tutorials. 1 or 2, maybe. Right, so... AI, War and Peace. So this is all working. So what we have is... I kept this as a separate file so that I could not break it once I had it working. War and Peace. This sets... So when it's the trigger war, conditions are condition war. Action war. I think this is going to take me too long to work out on stream. I'm going to load up Space Engineers and see if I can just start up an offline world and maybe, even though I won't have all the painting tools and all those various bits, maybe we can design a new assertive installation. Because I was going to try and figure out the base behaviors, and I was going to try and do a bunch of things and show you what I've done with the mod, but I can't. Because... Grr, Steam! Oh, Lucas, I definitely want to expand into the asteroid installations. Because that should be quite fun. But I want to get the base installations working first. If I can get the planetary installations working, then it'll be easy to just convert that behavior to a space-based behavior. So hopefully I can get that done first. Oh wait, I'm already in creative mode. What am I doing? Let's get to this somewhere nice. Oh yes, Stationeer's got another update. So for tomorrow's stream, there might be some changes. I don't know if they're in the main branch or if they're just in the experimental branch at the moment. Oh no, I'm not going to have my colours. I think it's just that blue and that grey? That grey. Right. Need another medium-sized base for assertive installations. Yes, Fortune's Downfall, you do need more things to kill us in space. Assertive asteroids. Totally. Oh, good, it is on main branch for Stationeers. Excellent. So it will be something for us. Which is going to annoy Capac no end, because he's just figured out how to use the... what's the thing that they're getting rid of? The manufacturing thing. He's just figured out how to use it, and now it's going to be removed from the game. Because the devs thought it was OP. Thanks, Logic Animal. Oh yeah, the fabricator, that's it. Thank you. Word finding difficulties. Right. I might try and make use of the gate again for this one. Like I did on the other medium base, which I can't show you because I don't want to take up all the mods from that world. If anyone notices Steam go back online, let me know, because then I can just take this blueprint over to my other world that's got all the other stuff in it. So I was thinking a through and through sort of thing. Guardstar, Capac and I have a series in Empyrean that we played over on our shared YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/zebramonkeys. We haven't played it since like Alpha 8 or 9. Just haven't had the desire to go back to a pure survival game. Because Empyrean, the way you build stuff, it never felt like much of a construction game once you realized you could just paste anything. Nighthunter, if your Space Eel's got lots of subgrids, it's not going to be great for the sort of mods that I've been making, unfortunately. Even though it would be nice to put some subgrid stuff together, it just ends up being too much of a performance hit once it spawns. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on that, Guardstar. I know Empyrean's coming out of Alpha. Hard space shipbreaker, is that what you're talking about, Starman? Yeah, Unfluffy Dave, you have to put some thought into it, or you can just collect resources and print one instantly just with a click. Empyrean's vanilla feel, to me, is a lot like playing Space Engineers with Bob. And the reason I don't play with that mod is it's just too much like playing in creative. If I'm going to play in creative, I'm going to build a mod to make my survival life harder. Because that's how I prefer to play. And it is just personal preference. I still like the survival elements of Empyrean. I very much like the NPC content. But it just hasn't been enough to drag me back. It may well do in the future, but it just hasn't yet. Because there are so many other games out there that Capac and I want to play as well. So it's it has to get to that point where the desire to play it is greater than the desire to play something else. Yeah, Fluffy, you can build stuff from projectors in Space Engineers, but that requires engineering. That requires a clever build. It doesn't just require a click. It's not just like pressing F10, pasting it in. That's the equivalent of the stuff in Empyrean, which drives me a little bit insane, because I find it very difficult to resist the temptation to use it. And it just it's not just about resisting the temptation, it's also about making, for me, and this is just my personal feelings on it, it makes the building feel hollow because I know how much more easily I could do it within the vanilla game And the only reason that I wouldn't is choosing to hamstring myself. Which I do all the time in Space Engineers, and I would probably do if Capac and I went back to it. But it's one of those feelings that makes me less likely to go back there straight away. As I said, it's not a game that I dislike. It's a game I've enjoyed in the past, but it's just not a game I've felt like going back to for some time. What did I do on that side? No idea if this is going to be way too big for a base, for my scale of things. I am building what might be a new base for the Assertive installations / what is going to become Assertive Interactions is my current working title for it. Empyrean is a game that how many hours have I played of Empyrean? I played quite a few. Where is it? 156 hours. I've gotten my money's worth out of Empyrean. Like, it's not a bad game. It's just the lack of physics, the building system. There are just a few little gripes for me that make me enjoy it for a time, and then I run into one of them and I'm like, ugh, dang it, why couldn't it just be this? Why couldn't it just not? And then I go play something else, usually Space Engineers. Yeah, Starman, I am very, very guilty of the old buy it on a Steam sale list of games on Steam. I have far too many games that I bought on sale and never played. Nope, wrong one. Yeah, I'm not quite that bad, Jexus. I don't think I've even got... I think I've got like 400 games or something in my Steam library. Not 1,200. And that should be enough room inside. I'm putting some hangerish stuff. Yeah, I played No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, unfortunately, when I played it after the next update, made me really angry because of some frustrating stuff that it did. And I've not gone back. I can't even remember what it was. There was something that just... must have been tired and I just got really frustrated. So I don't think it's likely I'll be playing any No Man's Sky anytime soon. Unless Capac tells me that he's desperate to play it and he really wants to, in which case I'll kind of feel like I have to because he really wants to. You're welcome, Barrow. No, I am not on night shift, thankfully. This design looks nothing like my other designs, but I'm kind of okay with it so far. Yeah, when my night shifts, Starman, when I do them are 7:30 p.m. till 8:30 a.m. Because my day shifts are also 12 hours. Gannett, I have not made public what my other job is. I'll just do... This is like a 6-legged base. The other option I was contemplating just then was building either quarters below or above the drone bay. Could be kind of nice to have a really tall base. Below. Above has sleeping people exposed to gunfire. That's true. Oh, Stephen House, it's definitely not that. I don't think anyone wants to see that. How would I do this if I was going to build a... I mean, I guess the drones have a risk of, like, if it's a workshop, there's a risk of the drones igniting or exploding, so you probably don't want to be living above them, since fire is going to go up. So maybe I do want to make living quarters below. Baroff, to place down a line of blocks in creative, you just control and click, like that, and drag. To place down a plane, you control, shift, click, and drag. Right click deletes with the same controls. Yeah, it appears the Steam servers are down in Australia too. What do I do this? Is that gonna work? No. No, still no connection for me. Typical. Australia behind the world. Except in time. Yeah, I'm thinking room 2 blocks tall makes sense, Stephen House. It doesn't need to be, like, I don't need that much clearance above the ground. This should be fine as is. At least based on the experience with the other bases I've built. Just thinking about how I do the windows, given I've put that slope in there and I kind of like it. That's not how I want that. Oh, wait. I use regular glass. What do this? Does this look funny? How does that work? Let's Let's grab those, because I need one of them. And put... Nope, that one. I actually quite like that. I think that makes sense. Then I could armor up the end ones and just have kind of the sloped windows on both sides. Ah, good. Steam is finally coming back up. That's alright. I'll keep working on this base and then once I've got it mostly finished, we'll move it over to the other world. Or once I decide I want to paint it so that I can use the painting tool. Because I need my mods. I need them! Can't cope without them. Oh, the fun of this is going to be figuring out how to do my stairs. Is that how I did that? No, I didn't do it that way. Wait, what have I even... Oh, I see what I've done there. That took me a moment. I needs it. I needs my precious. I'm not doing... I haven't done much to these bases with sneaky warheads or anything like that, because Rival AI lets me be sneaky without putting a single block in. It is much better than sneaky blocks, because you can't see them. So Capac can't shoot them before they kill him. I don't need a sensor. I can fake a sensor. I can be so much more devious. And I love it. And probably should have built some of this with mirror mode, but I wasn't sure I was actually going to do this with any degree of symmetry when I started it. Which is kind of the way with these bases. Well, Gruz, Pav and I had originally hoped to do the bunkers together. It's just I got so distracted by other stuff. Thankfully, he took over and has made some awesome bases for the Assertive bunkers. And he, yes, I'm sure he'll do the same as me. Once he learns more and more of the Rival AI behaviors, he'll add more and more sneaky stuff using them rather than blocks. Yes, Kitamaru, using those little lights to attach windows, it is airtight. Yeah, the top's a little drone hangar repair bay thing, which I have to figure out how to build some stairs into and access for. I often imagine Splitsy's first thought upon waking up each day is, how will I kill Capac today? Well, especially after what he did in Survival Unlikely, and don't... spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but after he did that, I really did want to murder him. Oh, so angry. So angry. Ugh. Yes, I have seen the stuff on the test server, and had I not decided to stream, I probably would have spent some time recording something with it, because I want to show off what they've done. Because I have some things that I think people would like to know about it that I have discovered. Plus, I just kind of want to show it off because it's awesome. the changes that are coming to the collision mesh size. We will no longer have to remember that blocks are bigger than they look. Yeah, see down, that is the episode I'm talking about. The one that released yesterday. Oh, I'm in... Oh, right. Of course. I'm in red because it's default. Now, some of you were suggesting I use ladders. I always prefer stairs. The reason I prefer stairs, especially for an NPC base, is while you're on a ladder you can't shoot. And because you can't shoot, you're so vulnerable to anything. Which means I kind of prefer to give people the opportunity to climb up a set of stairs while looking up, checking corners, making sure they're not about to stick their head into the line of fire of a gun. And I think it's much nicer for an NPC base to use stairs rather than ladders for that reason. If you're going to use a ladder, you need to make sure that the top and bottom of it are safe from gunfire. Otherwise, players just get murdered. And straight up murdering without any degree of ability to avoid it, it's kind of not as much fun. And I don't think it's fun for a player to experience that either. Exactly. Better to keep them guessing and better to give people a chance to feel like they've got some control over what's happening. Now, should I continue those stairs all the way down, or should I build a stairway? I think I'll have an outside stairway. So... Oh wait, that's really obvious from inside, isn't it? How will I do this bit? Do I go the slopey window again? Yes, you can swap the side the stairs start on. I think... I don't know which way I'd prefer it to be. I don't feel like it really matters too much this time. Oh, thanks, Mackle. How's it going this morning? I do this. Maybe that could work. Where's my doors? What am I going to do with the doors? Why is it taking me so long to remember where stuff is in that list? It's driving me insane. I've been trying desperately to remember where stuff is in the vanilla list, and I can't seem to get it into my head. Yeah, that works. Obviously that battery's not going to be there. I've just put it there as a placeholder so that I've got power. Thanks, logical animal. Yeah, old age. Then we go with doubles, double, corner. Oh yeah, I might just make this go straight to the ground. Then what I could do is I could grind out these blocks so that they're kind of frames rather than full blocks. Let me place you. And one more should be enough. Yeah. I think that'll look better than having it than me trying to wrap the stairs around or do any switchbacks or anything. Chaos, I don't use that many block mods though. Like, especially if you compare me to, like, if you compare my list to, well, I mean, in Survival Unlikely there are quite a few block mods, but in the rest of the stuff I do, there aren't actually many block mods at all. Because I tend to stay away from them as much as possible for my series, as they have a tendency to break, and I have a tendency to run series for much longer than I initially think when I start them. I have a bad habit of making them go for a long, long time. I've lost track of where the early onset of dementia from intense exposure to high field intensity of Capac particles. Yep. Yeah, Edward Carr. So the way the installations get spawned is they search for a suitable flat area, and then they spawn themselves at the height you predetermine, which is, I believe, and Lucas might still be here to correct me on this, I believe is started with the average or the center point height. It'll be one of those two of the terrain in the area. So you need basically, that's why all of the NPC bases have stilts or at least raised in some way so that they can cope with a moderate degree of terrain sloping. Alright, what I might do is start designing the interior of this space, because I think that should give me a wall or two that I can hide the batteries in. So let's grab all of the decorative bits. And where are the other decorative bits? Those. Really need to start using those dispenser things more. I haven't used them much. Like in Survival Impossible, they do kind of work quite well as a little fridge. Yeah, it is a pity we can't do cliffside bases, but it does. It's just one of those things we have to deal with. Alrighty. We've got drone facilities upstairs. I should start, as always, with the bedrooms. And I should also have turned off weather. That's what I want. Huh. I was thinking like a little bedroom with lockers. Struck by lightning 3 times in less than 5 minutes. Sounds about right. Keen definitely didn't get the balance of the way that stuff with the weather worked right at all. Like, I'm not normally one to say those things publicly, but yeah, they done stuffed up with that. With the weather systems and how much damage the lightning did. It really, like, it's unfortunate they didn't realize how many people didn't ever use. I reckon not many people ever used Jakaria's lightning modes of weather when they played with it. Yes, you can spawn in voxels at the same time as spawning a base, but it'll be done the same way that the boulders are done. So this boulder, at least as best as I understand it, Space Engineers treats like an asteroid, so it's actually not the same voxels as the planet, which is why when you drill through a boulder and drill underground, you get double voxels. So you could do that, but I think it'd end up looking quite awkward. Michael, I'd hope that the people would be getting paid rather than having to rent these rooms. How am I going to do this? This is always a struggle. You'd think I'd have a clearer idea of how to make this stuff work by now, given how many times I've built interior spaces with these blocks. No one should live beside the door. But this end can have... Oh, this end can have more. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Geeky Nerd Money. Here, Monkey, here's your 800 space bucks for the month. Now that'll be 750 space bucks for room and board. Thanks, Rainwolf. Asking for Capac. Where's the med bay? I haven't put med bays in most of these bases. I think it's in my head. It's mostly because the bases, if they have a med bay, then provide silver, and most of the time I don't want to provide silver to players. What could I put in here? Maybe this will work. That's true, Jackson. There is merit in the idea of a relatively rarely spawning medical base that's a bit nastier. Because I'm now starting to work on medium-sized bases, one of them could be a future medium-sized base. I could build a hospital. That could actually be kind of fun to build a hospital. Or at least like a military medical facility. Quite like that idea now that I say it out loud. Someone remind me on a future stream that I said I wanted to build a hospital. Or at least a medical centers type thing. Yep, I'm thinking MASH too. How can you not? Right. How to fill the rest of this space? I kind of like these little spaces and then this little shared office space. That works out quite nicely. Do need some actual living and eating spaces though. What I might do is grab our interior wall, but use the sci-fi one, because man, does it work well as a filler for against this style. Like the new sci-fi interior wall works great against the backs of the well, the backs of all of the design blocks really, because then I can do my thing of adding an LCD. Yeah, no survival, maybe medical scanner, unfortunately, because I do keep the subgrids off for these things. There you go, now you can see my local time. It is 12 past 10. I'll pop all those there. Then what I could do is put the kitchen and vending machines in here. Bar like that, then kitchen like that. That mostly works. And then that kind of feels okay. It's not ideal. Yeah, we're kind of living in a loft. There's only so much you can do to make places look really militaristic when they're giving us stuff like bars with cola and coffee. So I tend to just go, whatever, let's make a comfortable living space. Let's make this a high-paid corporate position sort of thing. So we've got one bathroom in here. got our 2 bedrooms, 3, 4. I just need a way to kind of close that section of the area off. Maybe... that will work. And then, what else could we put in here? One bathroom, no ventilation. Sounds right for barracks. Maybe. Maybe. Oh yeah, I know military facilities have things like sergeant, like the various messes, and they're usually relatively well equipped. I might try something different for this. Is this gonna look too briefing, like too board table-y? Yeah, doesn't feel like an eating space once you put those middle desks in. What should I put in these 2 blocks? Oh, I haven't put a lab in and stuff. Although, should I put that upstairs? Because I'm going to be having this with all sorts of drone repair related stuff. Yeah, I mean, I could put more of these in. In fact, I might put... yeah. Where's the roof garden? We need our modern amenities so we can put this up on the market as luxury housing. It won't come with a drone already in it. If I ever decide to, I could make it look like a drone launches from it. If the base spawns with these gates open, and I set up a drone correctly, it could spawn inside with a velocity to make it launch out of these doors. I'm not ready to do that stuff yet. I want to get the basic mod fleshed out first before I start going into that fiddly sort of stuff, which may well break when I do further updates and things. So that's on the very distant sort of future things. Not a soon sort of plan, if that makes sense. I suppose I could just put a second table in here, couldn't I? Yeah. It actually feels alright. Thanks, Balerian. I'm glad the tutorials have been helpful. With the next update, though, I'm probably going to have to get around to finding some time to update the tutorials, I think. Where shall I put lights in here? Time to make it dark. Yeah. Oh, that's right, I don't have mods. I don't have build vision! Control C. Exit. I am, for those who've recently arrived, I am building another Assertive mod base, and it would seem that Space Engineers has crashed again. Wonderful. All right, we are connected to Steam this time, so hopefully. Incognito, you can thank Chipsticks for that one. He very kindly, after we chatted, made the giant spider mod. He's also the man responsible for. Actually, they are also the person responsible, because I don't know that Chipsticks is a dude. For making Steve. Oh, yeah, that's a fairly good point, Psycho Cadence. Maybe you should do that. Where did my save go? No. I think Space Engineers just crashed on save and didn't save that game. Or is it different when you're in offline mode? Does it save it somewhere else? Ah, it does save it somewhere else. Phew. I'll fix that. There we go. It's been that long since I loaded up Space Engineers in not in Steam. Starman, I use OBS. Yep, just 3,300 hours played. Where am I? Base build, that's the one. Hey Tex, how's it going, mate? I've been very much enjoying your antics in Vanguard. You guys have been doing a great job with that series. Yep, only 2,000 hours spent pulling my hair out over Capac's decision making. That's about right. Yep, I am not surprised that you have more hours than me, Scala. Perseus... Maybe? Maybe not? Who knows? There we go. Inside. That's annoying. Why is it I walk? No, didn't do it that time. Oh well. Whoops. Alright, I've got the funky armor on. Alright, let's see. Let's make it some nighttime. And then let's get some lights going in here. Deliberately... what if I just do a strip down the middle like this? That doesn't look right. Never like a big space with lights placed really close to each other like that. It always feels a bit odd to me. That kind of works a bit better though. The reason I'm not putting the lights on top of the stuff over here and shining them up is the way the lights look on these blocks, especially in the bathroom. If I expand the range of this one till it hits the ground, when you go inside the toilet, it looks like the light... Well, I need to do the next one. It looks like the light's actually coming from the emissive parts of the block, which I think is nice. See how it looks like the light's coming from those lights overhead? And keeping that stuff in mind, I think, makes the space feel more real. Dodging which bits of the broken, which bits of the odd Space Engineers lighting you can. Right. My usual, make the light yellow. And because I now know how to use build vision properly, corner light, living area. I can name things properly, and I've been doing this in all of my builds that I remember to do it in. And it's been so much nicer. Because I can find stuff. Ooh, I might need to get rid of this plant and put a light in the corner here for the kitchen. I know, I've been naming stuff, it's crazy. All the lights are on one tab, Tex. Corner lights, interior lights, spotlights, rotating lights. I feel like it's been that way ever since they compressed everything for the G menu. What's weird though Why didn't they put these under the other variant? Like, why are the sci-fi blocks a separate bit? Unless the DLC blocks need to be a separate thing? I don't know. It's odd. Might just have to increase the range of this one a bit. And same with this one. Okay, now the kitchen has a bit of, at least a little bit of artificial light. I'm fairly happy with this space. Need some guns though. Idle movement off, radius 150. Target large ships off. I'll just go with 4 magazines. Yeah, that makes sense, Psycho Cadence, so I wouldn't cycle through stuff you don't own. But you would have thought they could just make it so it skips those. Oh yeah, exactly, that's a good point. Then the doors are under the same door. Yay, morale turret. No, that's not what I was meaning. Hang on. It's supposed to be a safety turret. It should be. And pointing it doesn't matter, this is just for demonstration. It should be facing that way. There you go. When this spawns in, it spawns in with a default facing horizontal. It doesn't keep the headings that it had. That doesn't seem to be saved. The state. I think one interior turret in here is just fine. So this is a medium difficulty base. Well, that could just be more nasty drones and a few extra turrets on the outside. I kind of like the idea in some ways of leaving the insides not too difficult, because I want to discourage people from just obliterating the base and give them a chance to explore, since I've been dropping in some other bits and pieces in the bases, like story element stuff. Alright, let's get daylight back. Realize that I still haven't placed any batteries anywhere. And those interior walls that I placed could probably have worked for that. Oh well. Might just put a battery up there. And another one over here. And get rid of this outside one. And now I need a roof. Yeah, exactly, Scala. The explore, discover, and maybe even use it for yourself. Like, if I show off this base, once you get inside, if you get past that turret, you head inside and that crap. Dang it, that was a bad example. Wait, have I even done anything in this place? I haven't. Whoops. Never mind, ignore me. Ignore the man behind the curtain. This is not what I was supposed to show you. This was what I was supposed to show you. This should also have a closed door. So when you walk in here, you've got a few little bits and pieces in there. You've got a captain's log, which will have a little bit of writing in it, and then you can go out of the research and into the living area, and there's more stuff in here. I think even one of these beds might have something. Yeah. Someone's been reading a book. Yeah, these are the neon lights. And they work really well as cabling if you make them in black. Because then they don't emit any light. So you can annoy Wasted by showing off some good uses of DLC blocks. And I've done obviously the same on the outside here to put some cabling in. And break up an otherwise big flat wall. Another thing that's quite nice for breaking up flat surfaces, I did on one of these. Oh yeah. This is not a special block, that's just the sci-fi armor texture. Sci-fi armor texture. And it's got this kind of vent thing which I feel has broken up the roof detail a lot more than it would have with just the straight normal armor texture. How do roof without roof looking ridiculous? Maybe I'll have to do... Actually, I could do this. Something a bit different. So I'm thinking, like, looking at all the roofs on the other bases, they've all got a little bit of a sloped edge and then a flat top. Like, I've pretty much done that as a consistent pattern through all of the bases, except for these ones, because they're too small. Oh no, even they have a slope at the front and back. Pagoda style roof. I don't... Tex, I think you, with your greebling, might even not want to take up the challenge of trying to make a pagoda style roof in Space Engineers. I feel like we have a distinct lacking of the blocks required to make it work. How's this gonna look? Actually, no, that doesn't look right. I was hoping to try and sneak in a bit that's going to look right for having the antenna stuck on top. And I also need to put a remote control block in here somewhere, because Rival AI requires it. Ooh, that could work. Yeah. That's well hidden. Ish. Well hidden enough. I did consider putting some excerpts from stuff that's things like public domain works of literature. The challenge I had was cutting out segments that were short enough to fit in the 1,000 character limit. I really struggled with that. I wanted to, but yeah, I just could not work out how to make it look right. Oh man, you just can't do an antenna dish without subgrids, can you? Actually, I wonder how this is going to look. What if I put... do a nice little bit of asymmetry. From left to right. That kind of works. I could even get rid of this side, the one on this side. And then it's turret time. What else could I put on top of this to make it interesting? That's not just yet another turret. Rotating light. Maybe, though they act like spotlights, so they're a bit not ideal performance-wise. Oh, decoy. Yeah. Oh yeah, wind turbine. Thank you. I don't have a wind turbine. I don't have any power source for this thing. There we go. Oh man. I don't think NPC bases get hit by lightning strikes. I'm not sure about it, but I don't think they do. I feel I've read somewhere from someone, can't remember who, that lightning strikes require the player to be near. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. So I was right on that. Thanks, Scarlet. So given they require the player to be near, these should all be safe from lightning strikes unless you decide to attack them during a storm, in which case they might well get hit. And I feel like that, if that's a tactic you want to use, it's perfectly valid. So if you manage to get close enough to one of these, yet still in cover, you could totally wait until it gets struck by lightning. Speaking of lightning, you should totally use the lightning generator. Should I, Lucas? Should I now? That's not where I wanted that. That's where I want that. No, that doesn't look quite right, does it? Need to go the bigger piece. That one. Yeah, that works. Sapita, a test here wouldn't prove anything because all of these bases are owned by me. So they would definitely get hit. Also, I'm pretty sure I've turned block damage off in this world. Let's set these up properly. No, there's no mining base per se in the bases that are here. What I've mainly got are drone bases and research bases and then just outposts. Little like observation post sort of things. Why do I turn idle movement off? Because idle movement makes it way too easy to see which turrets are active. Plus, and I don't know how true this is, but I have heard people say that there is a small performance impact from having the turrets moving. But mainly it's so Capac doesn't know which ones are dead or not. You should not have seen 14,000 ammo in the second one, because... Or did I move... Oh, did I move 4,000 rather than 4? No, it's 14. Just 14. But yeah, the idle movement is more about a Capac mitigation effort than a... sort of... anything else. Okay, there we go. Scala's confirmed it. There's a torch server plugin to turn off the idle movement of turrets, and it does improve performance. But then there's the added benefit of Capac dying. So, you know, win-win. Oh wait, that doesn't work. We're gonna have to replace those things with catwalks. Whoopsie daisy. Gonna need those windows back. Oops. Where are my windows? Yeah. There we go. It's like nothing ever happened. Oh, they are not dark enough. There we go. See you, Scala. Thanks for the info, mate. I don't know, I think it looks better as scaffolding. Because I feel like they wouldn't build a full armor support for something that only needs to take human weight. It's something I've done in a few of the bases, but not all of them. I don't know, it just felt like what I wanted to do. Why not just stairs? Because it's boring. It just creates, it breaks up the surface more by having the stairway coming off the side. So I always do stuff like that. Yeah, we do need more lights. On the outside. Yes. I am allergic to uniformity. In an almost obsessive way. Oh. This work. Also, I just made those lights completely black. Yeah, I think that looks a bit more interesting too. I'm going to do that way around. That's kind of the goal, logical. Trying to build stuff that, like, given the number of things I've built in Space Engineers, I still am constantly trying my hardest to make stuff that looks different each time. Yes, a lot of the shapes I use are similar, a lot of the ideas, but trying to put them together in different ways is always part of what I'm trying to do. Do I want lights for the drone bay doors? Probably not. Now for these outside ones, let's make them even more orange. And much lower intensity. Although that's going to affect inside as well, isn't it? Looks okay. Yeah, we'll be hanger time in a second. And I feel like that was disturbingly close to hammer time. Let's go, 2 more to go. I think that's enough exterior lighting. That's in build vision. You can copy from one thing to another. So if you open it up, press home to enable copying, insert to select everything, page up to copy, and then you can go to another light, open it up, and press page down to paste. You can do it with any block settings, but it'll only paste to the same type of block. Okay. Hang on. You cannot get the Build Vision mod on Xbox. You can't get any mods on Xbox, unfortunately. That would have made a lot of things for survival maybe a lot easier. kind of all I can do in here until I add some lights. Because I really should be leaving the center of the floor clear. Workbench, little lab table and another table beside it. Oh, hold up. Yes. That can be done, which then allows this to be done. Yeah. No. If you drop components, they'll just be deleted. Which is a pity. Yeah, it'd be nice if we had a corner desk like the bar. I would very much like a block in that shape. Actually, I'm not going to use the corner lights in here. I'm going to use interior lights. Just because they look a bit more industrial. Oops. Bit of a typo there. Copy it. How's that look? Weird. It looks weird. Let's bring that out a bit further. Ah. The lighting was all too, like, rainbowy. When I'd made these ones different like the outside ones. I feel like I need a bit more light in the middle. Darkness in the middle of the floor doesn't look quite right. If I drop the intensity down to there... Drop the fall off. Increase the range a bit. Let's try that. For a bit more of a smoother transition. It's made the lighting quite flat, which is unfortunate. Let's see. It is quite flat. I don't know that I'd put a neon strip on the floor, but I could put something on the roof as some cabling up there. That could be a nice way to break up the ceiling. Oh. Is this going to look better without or with that desk? So what I was thinking of doing was that. I think it probably looked better with the desk though. So this is one of the things that's the trouble with playing with the fall-off. Although Space Engineers has a weird way of doing fall-off. Well, maybe that could work. You can end up with really flat lighting if you reduce it too much. That kind of works though. It's a bit more variable in here. And with the battered texture on the workbench and stuff up here, I think it works too. The detail on the floor though, I was almost tempted to put the sci-fi armor on it, but I'm not sure how that's going to work from the roof underneath. I'll do it and see how it looks. Then I need to add some blue in here. Because I want blue to match all the other bases. I don't think that helps. Yeah. Let's just work out where this blue is going to go. Where's my paint tool? Yeah, not on the chair. Oh man, I really like that I was able to fit the writing on the top of that base. Might do... Yeah, that's what I could do. Just this one stripe. Doesn't quite work how I'd imagined, but if I do this as well. Or if I change the window back to grey. Yeah, the window in grey works better. How's that work? I think that adds the trademark blue. And then does it add something if I put it on these bits? Or does it take away? I'll do both and see how I feel. There would be enough room for ASRT, but the trouble is these are half blocks, so I can't put them on there anyway. I guess you could put ASRT running up along there somewhere? Maybe? In fact, I might have a look at that. Thanks, Geek Tech. Where's my writing? There we go. Alright, because I put the thing on that one. Oh no, I put the little cable bits. I'll have to get rid of them, or move them underneath. I'll move them under here. And they can support the windows from there. And we can get rid of those. The letters are not emissive. Yeah, the letters are not emissive. Which is, you know, somewhat of a pity. But this could look interesting. Having that just at the entryway. Branding more of the big buildings. I quite like it. As a concept. See you, Tex. Have a good one, mate. I'm quite happy with how this base has turned out. Considering I had zero plans on building a base today, and it looks... it fits in. It's amazing how much a coat of paint and a consistent painting style works for making a base look right. Were you thinking another assert down here? Wait, that's not the same side. That's the same side. I should do it on the opposite corner. Yeah. Ah, so what's the interaction part, Jay? I am going to be combining the assertive installations and assertive cargo ships mods into a single assertive mod. And my plan with that long term is to also make all of the bases and cargo ships belong to more than just... my plan in the long term is to potentially change up how the factions work as well, but I wanted to come up with a new name for the combined mod, and assertive interactions was what I came up with. So it'll be hostile bases, cargo ships, drones, the whole lot, running with MES and rival AI. Yeah. I'm really happy with this. Alright, detail stuff. Need to make sure that all turrets have ammunition. Which they do. Need to make sure that all turrets have their range set to 800 meters and idle movement off. Then, inside here, need to put a little bit of something in a few spots. In here, let's put some power kits. Maybe a few small steel tubes. Yeah, Geektech, that's kind of what I was going for. An all-encompassing name that still was very clearly belonging to the same family of stuff. And a medkit. Oh wait, let's take the medkit out. Put some ammunition in there. Some drone ammunition. Oh yeah, there's going to be some notepads. So I got them in my personal? Yeah, I do. But those I tend to put in like the beds. So if I hop in bed, I can then put, say, a book. And if I go to a different bed, is one of these a diary? I think one of these will be like a diary entry. Now that one's more of a cargo ship one. There we go. Pop that one in. Because you can put notepads in the beds. Then I often put like a little bit of something in these. Can I put paracons in there? No. So I'm just trying to make it so that when you explore stuff, it's actually worthwhile looking in the blocks. Because there may be stuff in there. And I can't make that actually work. Drat. I was hoping to make it so that you could actually buy some cola from it. Because that'd be kind of fun. So just, you know, putting little bits and pieces around the place so that there's something to discover. Another thing I do want to add to the Assertive Interactions mod is I'll be adding LCD pictures to go up on the TVs and things. I'll be putting various bits and pieces like that. And yeah, a turret in the hangar might not be a bad idea. Also, painting this block would be a bad idea. This looks funny from the inside. Don't need too much ammo for the interior turrets. If you manage to get the turrets to run out of ammo, I think that's quite reasonable if you're shooting them from the inside. Cool. That should do it for this base, I think. Just need to come up with a name for it. It'll probably be another drone facility because I think that's what I named this big one over here. Info. Yeah. Drone repair facility. This might just be... It could be another drone repair facility, I guess. It's kind of equipped that way. Capac wanted advertisements on the TV. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. People seem to really like my image mod I made for Survival Impossible so far. So I'm looking at doing some more. You can specify, you can make loot tables. I just haven't done that stuff yet, Crazy Fox. The Modular Encounters mod actually allows you to do loot tables for various things, but I'd have to set up so many of them for the different spots that I'd want things, because the bases can't have the same loot as the things in space and all that sort of stuff. So at the very least, what I wanted to do was have some manually placed stuff. And a few of the bases need to have them, because a couple of them I put stuff in that only makes sense for that specific base. Graz, I don't believe the GIF thing on a TV is a regular mod, but I could be wrong. I think a lot of the moving images on LCDs things are plugins. Like the plugin mod you have to use to get cameras to show up on LCDs. And until I feel confident that Keen are okay with plugin mods, because I'm pretty sure plugin style mods are on the edge of EULA breaches, because they modify game files. I don't know that they do, but sometimes they have to. If Keen are okay with that, awesome. But I just don't know. So I'm hesitant for that reason. I haven't looked into it and I just haven't had time. End user license agreement, Vash. That's what I'm talking about. Have you seen this man? Wanted in 7 sectors for wanton destruction and shenanigans. That would be Capac. I was looking around at some, like, goofy motivational posters to see if I could come up with some more images to do and stuff. Sweet. I suppose at some point I'm going to start working about how I fix the fact that I don't actually have the bases doing anything at the moment. And I can't remember where I got up to in showing you guys what I'd done with the drones and things. Yes, every single drone I've made would fit through those gates. It would be a tight squeeze for the biggest ones, but it would fit. Oh, I like that one, Lucas. An image with a welder block. If it's red, it'll cook your head. Or... unless you... or something related to barbecue. Now, I'm going to put that one in my ideas Discord. So I can remember. Yeah, I couldn't decide what to put with the you gotta do what you gotta do motivational poster, because obviously I'm not going to just steal it from Futurama. I want to actually make a Space Engineers rip-off version of it. But I can't... I couldn't think of what I would put with that. I suppose you could just have a Space Engineer in an uncomfortable looking situation welding something, but I'm not sure what would really sell it. Jesse, I don't think I would do something like that. The reason I'm probably not going to put in, like, specialty bases that are kind of a joke is, if you're playing with this mod for a long time, the joke might be funny the first time, but the joke's going to get really annoying when you keep seeing it over and over again. Jackson. That could possibly work, but I don't think there's any flex poses. See, one thing... I mean, I want to do the... I feel this one could be done with Capac and a button and an LCD saying do not push button. But I'd put him in his old rainbow suit helmet thing, that sort of suit. So I feel like I will probably do that one. Oh, a visual rules poster for Grinder Welder Drill. That's a great idea. I love that idea. Yeah. Yeah, Vash, that could work. Yeah, there is a unique encounter function. That's true. I take suggestions. Whether I follow the suggestions or not is variable. Right here. Yes, you could, except the unique encounters aren't properly unique unless you just start ignoring them after a time. Yeah, I'm definitely taking a lot of suggestions on like extra LCD ideas. Some of them, it kind of takes a moment of me going, yes, I want to do that idea. Which is what kind of led me to the ones that I made so far. I was like, yeah, I can totally make that work. I can make that work with the Steve and the oxygen bottle and all that sort of stuff. But if you've got ideas like that, just pop them in on the Discord. There is a modular encounters spawner. No, actually, where should I put that? Don't really have a good spot for it. Just drop it in main chat on the Discord, and I'm fairly confident I will see it. Please don't ping me. Oh! Video game advertisement for... I don't know, Alligator Chomper, maybe Capacodiles 7 Bog Warfare or something. Ah, that's not the key combo I wanted to press, that is. Da, 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 da. I'm just copying the little screenshot of what you guys are saying into my ideas Discord so I can keep them for when I next decide I'm going to put those images together. Those images are not super easy to put together. I mean, they're not hard, but the reason I've never done a tutorial on it is you need to be comfortable with Photoshop or GIMP or something like that. And I don't really want to have to teach people how to use those pieces of software as they're both quite complex. I think I might wrap up the stream here, as we've got this base built. It's ready to go. Oh yeah, I could do a movie-style poster for Survival Impossible, since the shots that I've got for it would actually work already. Survival Unlikely, the initial thumbnail I made would probably work for that too. But I have to verticalize them to make them work. So, tomorrow, from about an hour and a half ago till whenever Capac and I decide to stop, we'll be playing some more Stationeers. And Capac will be on his Twitch channel tonight with some sort of random shenanigans and cocktail consumption. So there's all that, and plenty more to come. And I will see you all then, I hope. Have a great day.